One thing I should bring up before we get started is that this video was shot at 1 in the morning, so I will be repeating myself at times. Hello everybody. This will be a little bit of a more different thing. It is currently about 1:20 in the morning. I can't sleep. I was trying to do schoolwork, but you know, things get in the way. So I've been playing this game for a little bit now. It's quite fun. It's called Risk of Rain 2. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. It's been getting a lot of traction ever since it came out of early access. A little bit about the game before I begin. It is a third-person shooter that is a roguelike kind of dungeon crawler. If you don't know what roguelike means, basically every run is randomized and there is permanent death. So once you die, that's it. You know, unless you have a specific item that prevents you and will resurrect you on death. But for the most part, when you die, that's it. Your run is over. Risk of Rain 2 is fairly notorious for its difficulty, especially when you're fairly new. It can appear fairly overwhelming at times, but you get the hang of it pretty quick. Now, before I start off, I want to go over here and recognize the legend himself, Chris. I cannot pronounce his last name, but he did an amazing soundtrack with this game, and I have even listened to it on numerous occasions outside of, well, playing the game. Right, so let's start. So as you see here, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. When you start out, you have none of these. All you have is this little guy right here, which we'll be playing as. You'll either unlock Huntress or Multi upon maybe your third or fourth run, but for the most part, you'll be just the Commando. So for tonight, I guess in this episode, I'll be playing on Rainstorm. The difficulty goes from Drizzle, which says reduces difficulty for players new to the game. Weeping and gnashing is replaced by laughter and tickles. 50% health regeneration, 50% damage reduction, or 38%, sorry, cannot read, and 50% less difficulty scaling. Now the key mechanic in this game is time. Time goes into everything, especially with all the formulas that are within the game. Rainstorm. This is the way the game is meant to be played. Test your abilities and skills against formidable foes. And then the one that everyone I see plays on is Monsoon. For hardcore players, every bend introduces pain and horrors of the planet. You will die. Player health is decreased by 40% and difficulty scaling is increased by 50%. So the game gets harder, faster, and you have less time to really do anything, and the enemies will hit so much harder, and basically you really need to rely on dodging than just tanking things. So again, I won't be playing on Monsoon. Artifacts we'll get into when we get around to it. But as for the Commando, he is fairly well rounded. His kit is really well for the late game. For the most part, in the early game, he's okay. It's not particularly good or bad, just average. But we'll be playing as if this is the first time. So this is the Distant Roost. Now, for this game, as you see in the top bar, I have currently no items. There's a little purple bar on the top left as well, underneath the cash symbol. There's other things called looter coins, which we'll get into later. But for the most part, you want to spread out and you want to find what is called a teleporter, which is said right here. The teleporter is basically how you progress to each stage, and with each stage, the game gets significantly harder in comparison to what it says right here with a little timer. Yeah, difficulty is always rising. Nope, there's a teleporter right there. First, I want to get some items before we continue on. So, with this game, time has to do with everything. You'll always be running against the clock. Your first item is the backup. Call drones for backup lasts 25 seconds. You'll always be going against the clock, and it will always be ticking down and constantly increasing the difficulty. Not only that, but upon completing each stage, this little tick right here will continue counting down or counting up, and it will increase by 15%, I believe, every time you complete a stage. So there's no real way of pausing, really. I mean, yeah, you can pause like that, but you know. But there's no real way of slowing that down. There are two key places where it does do that. No, like, it does stop, but those are very niche places that you pretty much have to pay for in order to get to. Not through like actual money, but through the lunar coin system that is present right here. Can I actually get rid of? No, I can't. That right there was called Recycler, and what that does is I can scrap it, or is it called a scrapper? I can scrap an item for using it a 3D printer, so I can use or get a potentially different item, but that one has priority. So basically what I'm doing here right now is just gathering some items before I fight the boss. If you didn't see, I picked up a armor piercing rounds item, a soldier syringe, and topaz brooch. Now, armor piercing pretty much does exactly what you think it would, except just to bosses. It deals extra damage to bosses. Hoopoo feather, sweet. It deals extra damage to bosses. Soldier syringe increases your attack speed, so your mouse M1 or your your main attack. And then topaz brooch, which every kill I get a little temporary barrier that kind of acts as like an overheal. Oh, okay. I just picked up a thing called a bustling fungus. Bustling fungus. It makes it so I can stand still and I can recover health like that. And it creates a little orb of healing around me. Like so. It's a really good way of getting some early health. Ow. Another item I got is a chrono bubble, which allows me to slow enemies on hit. But it doesn't affect their animations for whatever reason. Oh. Alrighty. Kernel Bubble slows enemies on hit, and the Hopu Feather gives me an extra jump. So here we are on a different part of the Distant Roost. Starting once again. It's actually one of the earliest times I ever died. I'm not particularly good at this game yet. I haven't had that much time to play it, well, with college classes and everything, but I'm trying. In between work and college and everything else, you can only have so much time to do so many things in one day. Crowbar. Deal more damage to healthy enemies. So the fuller the health on an enemy, the more damage I'll do to him. And we have a tri-terminal. I'll be taking that med kit though. Medkits give you a delayed heal after taking damage, which can be very, very good in really tight situations, especially when you're getting overwhelmed like I was in the last one. I think it takes like 2 seconds for a heal to kick in. Yeah, see? Gutuf. His slow action movement speed helps out with dodging. Just like that. I'm a bit upset I died so early in the last run though. It was shaping up to be a pretty okay run. But hopefully this one's better. A little tip with Commando, if you come across a slope like this, you can roll up it. There's a lot of little shortcuts you can do with Commando's little roll. But for those players that know what they're doing with this game, they're probably cringing at the way I play. I'm trying to get faster. Just a little bit hard sometimes. There was a first game though, in which the Risk of Rain 1 and Risk of Rain 2 are very vastly different kinds of games. Whereas this is a 3D, shooter. The first game was 2D. Much in the same way as like kind of Spelunky and such. Basically the same type of gameplay loop, but just theirs was a little bit more linear, while ours is a little bit more open-ended in this game. Both fantastic games though. I've only got to watch gameplay of the first game. I was at my friend's house watching him play. I'm not very big on 2D side-scrollers. I like being able to look around my environment completely and not have to kind of think about what's going on like on the other side of the screen. If that makes sense. But for now, I'm gonna just finish up this level. I spent way too much time here. I really wish Commando had a little bit more mobility options. I understand why you can't, but Parent Accumulator, that is very, very good. Parent Accumulator basically releases a giant energy ball that's, let's be honest, it's a BFG. from Doom. It's basically what it is. Wandering Beggar, Stone Titan. See, look how much damage that Forrun accumulator did. It's crazy. There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, razor wires. What razor wire does is, upon taking damage, you will immediately reflect that damage right back to your enemy. And I think they take an equal amount depending on the stack. I think the first stack you deal equal amount of damage as they have done to you, and then I believe it goes up by they do 1.25 the damage they did to you, and then 1.50. I think, I'm not quite sure, but you can get multiples of each item. The item rarities, or I guess like item slots, are common, uncommon, which is green, commons are gray or white, and then there's blue, which is lunar. If you play Binding of Isaac, that's kind of like they kind of deal with the double items. You know, there's a heavy drawback, but you also gain something pretty neat out of it. And then there's red items, which give you a massive buff, but they're extremely rare. Well, extremely is a exaggeration, really. They're rarer than anything else. And you have orange items, which are equipment. So that will be your Forrun accumulator, royal capacitors, you know, stuff like that. Like I have as my active item slot. So each character, they usually have about 1 or 2 passives. I can't remember what Commando's is, admittedly. I hardly ever play Commando. While every character has a different passive and everything, they also can be equipped with 3 different abilities. These abilities can range from, like Commando's little taser, or little beam like that, yeah, to his little roll and rapid fire, kind of automatic fire. He also gets that. They all play really, really different. I love this game for that. Their characters are just amazing. Again, kudos to Hopu for putting this game together, and congratulations on getting it out of early access. I initially played on console, which is still, console version is still in early access, which is kind of sad. But, you know, you gotta take time with making a game this good. As for the story of the game, I actually have no idea what the story is. I've been reading a lot of the logbooks that are present in the game. In every item there's a little description you can read for it. This is a razor wire, 3.0. But, yeah. This is, you know, a fairly different game. It's a bit of a more niche type of type of experience. I know that not everybody enjoys a endless loop type game, but there were 4 different ways of ending the game. One is just like a super secret boss, sort of. Another one is actually like going through and beating the game and fighting the final boss. The one that is easiest is obliterating yourself at the edge of time or universe, I guess. And obviously there's dying. But we got our first red item. Soulbound Catalyst. Kills reduce the equipment cooldown. So my priority accumulator now cools down faster depending on how many kills I get. So let's actually save these guys and go open up teleporter. Soulbound Catalyst is actually a new item I've never gotten before, even in the console version. I hope I can at least deliver you guys some new content now that I'm playing games again and able to sit back and relax for a little bit. Oh no. Oh no. Just gotta give me a second. I'm not really used to playing games and talking anymore. I'm so used to actually just being in complete silence while I play games now. I missed? Oh no. It's been embarrassing. There we go. Oh, the thing I got earlier, it's called Shrine of the Mountain. Shrine of the Mountain basically makes the teleporter boss harder by spawning more, additional boss, or, but the reward you get of it is an extra item. It's quite fun. But this game can be enjoyed either by yourself, which is typically what I do, or with friends. The game does get harder when the more people there is, like significantly harder. There's also 2 game modes that I've only played one of, but never mind that for now. The game does get harder with more people. Excuse me. And then, it really encourages you to kind of be greedy with your friends, though. Oh wait, we see a new enemy. This is an imp. They do a lot of bleed damage, for whatever reason. They're generally pretty easy to take care of. They can lead you to some pretty bad times, though. Oh, maybe I'm behind me. I think it is on one lens maker. Lens maker glasses increases your critical hit chance. Crits, just like in any other game, do double the damage, and they're very, very good. Especially on Commando, who has that little rapid fire. Tougher Times. Tougher Times gives you a, I think, 7% chance to ignore any damage or a source of damage that came to you. So if you get hit, I think a 6% chance of just ignoring it. And per stack, I think it adds on an additional 6. I may be wrong. And this is a Lunar Bud. Open it up. That's interesting. So, Shaped Glass. As you can see, I chopped my health in half. So now I'm significantly easier to kill. But I also do more damage. My damage is doubled, and on top of, Lensmaker classes having crits now, or increased amount of crits, I do quadruple my damage. And then Predatory Instincts makes me shoot even faster. Wow, it does a lot of damage. So we're just gonna run along the top of this really quick while we search for the teleporter. I'm actually making very poor time, but this isn't a very serious run. I was just trying to show you guys the game rather than actually, give it my all. Next time I will be playing a little bit more seriously and a bit more aware than I am now. At that point I probably won't be like half asleep while recording an episode of it. But as we're doing right now, I think we're doing pretty good for damage and such. I'm about to get another damage chest. A guillotine. Guillotine will instantly kill low health monsters, but since it's nerfed, it hasn't been exactly great, but it's still good enough. And it's good enough to carry with you at times because, in these types of runs, you don't exactly get a choice in your items. Later on you might, with the artifact and everything. But for now, we have to make it a fast dash to the teleporter because we are really behind. I should be nearing my second loop right now, but it's kind of playing bad, I guess. Teleporter's up there. I am blind. But yeah, I passed right by it. I was on top of it and everything. Wow, that was lucky. I've been interacted with someone's squid turret nearby. It's not very good. Oh dear. Gotta love crits. But for now, we wait. I don't know. So now we just wait. I hope you guys are doing very well though. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded, and I swear the next episode of Minecraft is going to be coming out. I just am not happy with how it turned out, as I'll probably say in the video itself. The audio got separated, so I had to do my own little voiceover, and I just kind of gave up halfway. I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll just put in some music so you guys can relax to it. But I never uploaded the video, so I guess, nah. But I promise it'll come out sometime. Just don't know when. I hope you guys understand. But other than that, hope you all are doing well. I know it's been a bit crazy out there, what with the election now going on. Do remember to vote in that. That will be, this election will be a very, very big moment for the entire United States, for my US listeners. I know for a fact that I will be voting. I won't say who, as to not cause any divide or any arguments in the comments. But yeah, it's been a very interesting time, this election and this whole year. What with COVID, the riots, and everything else that happened, you know, I couldn't ask to be more, I guess, thankful in my position I'm in. Luckily enough, I wasn't hurt too bad by COVID and everything. It did get scary there for a while, but all's well for the most part. I recognize that, you know, you win some, you lose some, but you can't let the overall thing bring you down too far. Because if you let the, you know, everything bring you down, how are you supposed to, you know, really show that, you know, you're correct as a person? You know, you gotta show your growth somehow, and whether it be, you know, through your own means of like creating something for the world to see, or, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this actually. I kind of just am spitballing. But it's a good tangent while it lasted. For those of you that are still listening, do go down in the comments and tell me how you've been throughout this entire year. I'm pretty sure all of us are thankful that it's almost over now. It's been a really interesting time with everything that's been going on. I honestly kind of worry about a lot of people during this time. I understand it can be difficult, and with everything that's going on in the economy nowadays, it's it's not looking too bright, but, you know, we'll hold together. We'll certainly hold together. We just need to figure out how and how to go about everything. Because, you know, it's not all black and white and magical. You know, some of us will struggle and fall, but, you know, luckily enough, we have friends and family to fall back on if things get too bad. At least those of us who are, those of us who can. I'm sorry for the people who can't. But, you know, like if you really need like any help, you know, don't feel afraid to reach out to somebody. You know, even if it's me or your neighbors, make sure you reach out to somebody. Because, you know, a lot of people, they do care. It may not seem like it, but a lot of people do care about you and what you believe in. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend isolating yourself. Do like kind of stay in touch with your family and friends. Because even if you feel like they don't, you know, like no one really cares, you know, there's a lot of people that do. There's certainly a great amount of people who do genuinely care and want the best for you. You know, they may not be good at showing it, but, you know, give it some thought and, you know, just kind of sit and think about it for a little bit, and you can start to piece together that, hey, you know, these people actually do care. Like, they're, you know, wanting to, you know, like they're wanting to, like, talk and everything. I just need to take the moment to reach out. I know for myself, for a while, thought that a lot of people didn't like me, but turns out I was mistaken, and that quite a few people did, and I just didn't know it. Damn it. Alrighty, well, I'm just gonna end it there. I'm obviously too tired to be playing, I'm just rambling at this point, so I wish you all a good night, or have a good day, depending on when you're listening. But tomorrow, probably in the morning, I'll be back on to bug you guys some more. Or, you know, I might just, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I feel like I should be posting something in order to make you guys happy. So, please have a good night, and thank you for watching.